Debuting the 2019 AIA Pennsylvania Architectural Excellence and Special Awards. This celebration of architectural excellence throughout the Commonwealth is made possible by our generous sponsors and partners. Thank you to our preferred partners. Fenner & Essler, provider of insurance and risk management for architects and engineers. Milber Macris, providing a wide range of legal services tailored to design professionals with offices in Berwyn, Pennsylvania. Offutt Kerman, construction law experts specializing in solving professional practice and business challenges for architects and engineers. Office locations in Harrisburg, Philadelphia, and Plymouth Meeting. Summit Technology, AEC Cloud Computing and Technology Solutions. Providence Engineering provides design and analysis services to the building design and construction industry. Thank you to this evening's sponsors. Langen. Sheets. Burt Cromer Cremonese. John Canning Company. Jaros Baum and Bowles. Acoustic Distinctions. Welcome to AIA Pennsylvania's third annual Virtual Design Awards broadcast. Tonight, we recognize and celebrate the great work that Pennsylvania's architects are doing to create a better world through innovative, scalable, and measurable solutions that ultimately create positive social, environmental, and economic change. 2019 AIA President and past AIA Pennsylvania and AIA Pittsburgh President Bill Bates, FAIA, is here with a message to kick off the broadcast.
Hi, this is Bill Bates, sending a message from my travels as AIA 2019 President. I'm in New York at the moment, on my way to Africa after having left Canada this morning. So it's been a non-stop whirlwind trip around the world, but it's been an honor to represent the American Institute of Architects, both nationally and internationally. And I'm very proud of the work that AIA Pennsylvania is doing, which is really changing the landscape for the profession and the built environment in our area, because we're stewards of sustainability, health, safety, and welfare, and doing so much to improve the environment for everyone who lives in this state.
Tonight's celebration includes recognition of significant achievements by members, non-members, civic and government leaders, allied professionals, and member firms who contribute to the built environment and the advancement of the profession in the Commonwealth. The AIA Pennsylvania membership at large, nearly 3,000 members strong, is given the opportunity to nominate individuals or firms for these honors. A special task force of the AIA Pennsylvania Committee on Design deliberates on the 9 awards, and the board ultimately votes to either approve or amend the final slate of candidates. 2019's prestigious AIA Pennsylvania Architect Excellence Special Awards are brought to you by Langen Engineering. Langen provides an integrated mix of engineering and environmental consulting services in support of land development projects, corporate real estate portfolios, and the energy industry. The first special award of the evening celebrates the present and future of the profession. The Emerging Professional Awards seeks to recognize the exceptional achievements and future promise of a licensed architect and to promote their continuing development. This recipient had demonstrated design excellence, leadership in practice, leadership in education, and service to the profession and society. The 2019 Emerging Professional Award goes to Lawrence Fabroni, AIA. As the National YAF Chair in 2018, Larry worked to advance a national conversation around innovative practice models, helping to plan the 2017 Practice Innovation Lab and co-chairing a subsequent iteration at A19 in Las Vegas. He currently serves as co-chair of the AIA Pittsburgh's Outreach Committee, as a member of the AIA Pennsylvania PAC Board, and as a member of the AIA-PA Strategic Council. As an associate at Strata in Pittsburgh, he leads urban design and large-scale architecture projects. Whether it's in practice or in AIA work or beyond, Larry loves and relishes working with great teams. Congratulations, Larry! The Associate Award recognizes exceptional contributions to the profession by an AIA Pennsylvania associate member who graduated in the last 10 years. These recipients have demonstrated both professional and civic leadership in their design work and their work with AIA. Patrick Ness, Associate AIA, has been an architectural design associate and project manager since receiving a Bachelor of Architecture degree from the Pennsylvania State University in 2009. His experience has included assisting with the design and management of a wide range of project types, most of which are focused on adaptive reuse, higher education, urban housing, public parks, interiors, and planning. Patrick currently serves as a co-chair of the Conference and Expo Committee on the AIA Central Pennsylvania Chapter Board of Directors. He has additionally served as a committee member of WECO York since 2016. On the WECO committee, Patrick has been involved in localized initiatives meant to enhance the community, generate business opportunities, and raise the profile of one of York, Pennsylvania's underutilized business districts. We would like to present the 2019 Associate Awards to Patrick Ness, Associate AIA. Congratulations! Since 1923, Fenner & Essler Insurance Agency has been an innovative provider of insurance and risk management for architects and engineers. Known for their expertise in this specialized field, Fenner & Essler currently represents the interests of more than 1,200 firms of all sizes throughout the United States. Fenner & Essler is the commended insurance provider to the AIA of Pennsylvania and an active member of numerous AIA state and local chapters. If your firm has had claims, Fenner & Essler can offer an effective strategy to manage these claims that can help reduce risk and help better manage both your future insurance costs and coverage. Visit Fenner & Essler online or connect with them on LinkedIn. The AIA Pennsylvania Student Awards recognize students from all 7 NAAB accredited schools in Pennsylvania. The Student Awards recognize the exceptional scholastic achievement and future promise of a graduating student. These students were selected by their faculty and have proven to be proficient in both academics and design and ready to take on the challenges and responsibilities of the work environment in an architecture firm. It's time to reveal the 2019 Student Awards. From Carnegie Mellon University, Selena Zen, Bachelor of Architecture. Drexel University student, Matthew Lusk, Bachelor of Architecture. Marywood University, Bachelor of Architecture student, Jules Silberberg. From Penn State University, Audrey Buck, Bachelor of Architecture. Thomas Jefferson University student Teresa Chiarenza, Bachelor of Architecture. Temple University Master of Architecture student Drew Hohenwarter. From the University of Pennsylvania, Caleb Ely, Master of Architecture student. The following 16 firms are recognized for their commitment to the development of emerging professionals with the 2019 EPIC Firm Recognition. The American Institute of Architects defines emerging professionals as architecture graduates pursuing licensure and architects licensed within the last 10 years. To be eligible for this designation, an emerging professional and a firm principal from each firm took the time to complete an assessment that provided checkpoints for 3 critical areas of emerging professional development: the Architectural Experience Program, AXP, leadership, and support. Congratulations to the 2019's EPIC firms fostering the future of the profession throughout the Commonwealth. The 50-year Timeless Award recognizes a building that has endured the test of time and still resonates with the design community and the public. This year's honoree is the Philadelphia Savings Fund Society Building, current home of the Loews Philadelphia Hotel, located in the heart of Center City, Philadelphia. A National Historic Landmark designed by the architects William Lescaze and George Howe, the PSFS building is considered the first international-style skyscraper built in the United States. The conversion of the PSFS building from offices to the hotel was led by two Philadelphia-based architects. The conversion of the tower was led by project principal Arthur Jones of BLT Architects. Karen Daroff of Daroff Design spearheaded the interior architecture.
The Philadelphia Savings Fund Society building, PSFS, was famous even before it opened to the public in the summer of 1932. That spring, it had been one of few American buildings to be featured in the Museum of Modern Art's Modern Architecture exhibition, the show that literally defined the international style. The curators, Henry Russell Hitchcock and Philip Johnson, said that the PSFS building was the only big American building that deserved to be discussed in the same terms as the work of the leading European architects. PSFS basked in that international limelight for the next 50 years, while it shared the skyline of Philadelphia only with the statue of William Penn atop City Hall. Today, after being skillfully reconfigured by BLT Architects as Loews Philadelphia Hotel, PSFS demonstrates that you don't have to be the tallest to be at the top of your game. The PSFS building is a marvelous group portrait of the latest architectural ideas and the most potent currents in American society during the time when it was designed and built, between 1926 and 32, when the Roaring Twenties roared and the stock market crashed. The client, PSFS President James Wilcox, was an erudite man who had written a proud history of his company. PSFS was America's first savings bank, an institution friendly to those with small means, which enabled them, among other things, to buy their own small homes. These were Philadelphia's signature row houses. But Wilcox was also a shrewd businessman, and under his leadership, PSFS became the largest financial institution in the city. This was the result of marketing, and architecture was part of that. In the mid-1920s, Wilcox hired the ultra-establishment architectural firm of Mellor, Meigs, and Howe to design lavish branch banks in the working-class neighborhoods of North, South, and West Philadelphia. Mellor, Meigs, and Howe were best known for simple-looking but gorgeously detailed suburban houses, which evoked the Cotswolds and Normandy, and their first PSFS branches were Italian Renaissance in style. But the later ones dropped almost all historical detail and had electric floodlights to illuminate the stone-carved company name, an innovation that created quite a stir. More stirring was about to happen. In 1926, Wilcox asked the architects to design a new headquarters building amid the department stores on East Market Street, across from Reading Terminal. Their first proposal was for a kind of mechanico-electrical classicism, with stone facing visibly bolted to the steel frame and an electricity-lit globe on the top. It would have been a worthy competitor for the other Art Deco towers that were then rising in the city's skyline. However, before the skyscraper project progressed, George Howe had split with his partners Walter Mellor and Arthur Meigs and taken the PSFS commission with him. He also took the design into the new world of architectural modernism, which he'd begun to learn about and which he would fully embrace by offering a partnership to the younger Swiss-trained architect William Lescaze in May 1929. Over the next 6 months, they developed the principal ideas of the final design. The identifiably modern things about PSFS are everywhere to be seen. First of all, it is a functionalist building, whose multiple functions are served on the inside and expressed on the outside. At the bottom, one starts with the green granite-clad podium, with street-level shops, and above them the majestic 3-story banking hall with its corner-wrapping window, where caring for one's savings is literally elevated above the bustle of everyday life. Then come 3 stories of bank offices, and above them 25 floors of rental space, which are jaw-droppingly cantilevered over Market Street. The office floors are served by a bank of elevators at the back of the building, in the crossbar of the T-shaped plan. and the location of the elevators is represented in the brick pattern of the blank south facade. On top of the tower is a penthouse for the officers of the bank, which is like a lavish modernist villa with a dining room, meeting rooms, and a sun-drenched solarium. And finally comes the sign, angled to be visible to those entering the city on the new Delaware River Bridge, now the Benjamin Franklin Bridge, the longest suspension bridge in the world before Golden Gate. Also demonstrably modern is the building's technological exhibitionism. This is most thrillingly experienced in the huge escalator lobby, where clients are whisked up to transact their business in the banking hall, in which the impressive steel safe stands in the middle of the room, not hidden in the basement. There is also the look-ma, no-hands panache with which the banking room, with its 63-foot clear span, seems to carry a skyscraper on its roof. Of course, that's thanks to a 16.5-foot tall steel truss. The machinery needed to make PSFS the world's second air-conditioned skyscraper is more subtly revealed. It's hidden, in plain view, on the 20th floor, which has narrower windows, and also inside the huge rooftop billboard. But PSFS is not just the product of functionalist and technical thinking. It is a brilliant modern design of geometry and color. Outside, this composition comprises the interlocking rectangles of the office slab, in gray and black, riding atop the shiny green crescent of the podium, and carrying the blue wedge of the sign on its roof. The banking hall, on the inside, is a similarly potent demonstration of abstract art. A pair of sinuous yellow marble-clad balconies wind their way through its grid of black and white marble piers, with dark red ceiling panels hovering above. In addition to all of this, PSFS is a showcase of modern decorative arts, full of fittings and furniture designed by its architects. Everywhere there's polished brass and stainless steel, and a virtual encyclopedia of the world's rare woods. The originality of this synthesis is notable. PSFS is not cribbed from a single European formula. Distinctively, it reflects Howe and Lescaze's understanding of Bauhaus functionalism, Dutch abstraction, and even in the glittering sweep of the podium, the energized language of expressionism. Importantly, PSFS isn't just an exercise in pure art either. When Howe and Lescaze initially proposed ribbon windows on all facades of the tower, accentuating the horizontal truth that the building was a stack of office floors, James Wilcox balked. He wanted a building that was not only functional and modern-looking, he also wanted one that would look tall and claim a place in the public imagination. In other words, he wanted a strong advertisement. And so the vertical members of the steel skeleton were moved outside the skin of the east and west elevations, giving them a strong vertical accent. That these not always compatible ideas about functionality, technology, art, and advertising were pulled together with such virtuosity is remarkable. And remarkable is the most important thing for us Pennsylvanians to say about PSFS.
Impact designers span a wide range of design disciplines, but are tied together by a common goal to design and create a better world through innovative, scalable, and measurable solutions. Impact design is rooted in the core belief that design can be used to create positive social, environmental, and economic change, and focuses on actively measuring impact to inform and direct the design process. Timothy McDonald is an architect, certified passive house consultant and tradesman, CPHC, and president of Onion Flats LLC, a development, design, build collective centered in Philadelphia. He has been teaching and practicing for over 20 years with a focus on community development, multidisciplinary thinking, and making high-performance building technologies and alternative construction methodologies. Through his research and practice, Tim, along with his partners at Onion Flats, has developed, designed, and built some of the first LEED Platinum and certified passive house, carbon-neutral projects in Pennsylvania. Join us in congratulating 2019's Impact Designer recipient, Timothy McDonald. For more than 30 years, the partners leading our Pennsylvania office, Rich Davies and Neil Klain, have guided the architects and engineers of Pennsylvania. providing a wide range of services, including defending them in construction, commercial, and personal injury litigation, assisting them in contract preparation and review, providing risk management advice, addressing their compliance with professional and business licensure requirements. Earlier this fall, 3 esteemed jurors from across the country convened at the Cooper Union in New York City's East Village. The internationally renowned all-honors college, comprised of 3 schools specializing in architecture, art, and engineering, was the ideal backdrop for a full day of jurying the 137 project submissions. 2019's honorees exhibited distinguished design in the categories of architecture, historic preservation, interior architecture, regional and urban design, unbuilt projects, impact design, and the newest category for 2019, single-family residential design.
Awards juries are really important. They, in some ways, validate what you do. There's nothing better than to have recognition from your peers.
I think it's very important to have your work evaluated by your peers. I think is important. People who know the discipline well and can evaluate what's working and what's not working.
The way that we look at our buildings and our projects very much is unique to who we are. So this is an opportunity here to show your best work, but to show your work in the best light.
We're setting benchmarks for the profession and the discipline through the awards programs. It raises the bar. When you have a thoroughly vetted design jury selecting awards, it raises the bar within the profession discipline of what is considered, quality work.
The people at the highest level really seek out the best in the profession, and by getting the awards, it really puts you at another level for, the kinds of projects that you may be doing in the future.
I think it's important that all architects have aspirations beyond the individual project, that we not only want to solve problems for our clients, but we want to set an example for our community as well.
Awards were selected for the following levels of distinction. Silver medal. The highest award in any category is a silver medal. A silver medal may be granted at the jury's discretion to the project that distinguishes itself and is of the most exemplary design quality from the rest of the submissions in that category. Bronze award. Bronze awards may be granted at the jury's discretion to projects that exemplify the highest excellence in design in any category. Honor award. An honor award may be granted at the jury's discretion to any project that either lies outside of the other categories or bears an exceptional aspect that the jury feels represents excellence, which deserves specific honor. The jury selected 10 projects for honor awards this year. In the category of interior architecture, we present Ballinger with an honor award for Adelphi University Nexus Building. The state-of-the-art Nexus Building is L-shaped, integrating with existing campus buildings and a below-grade parking structure. The East Wing is a public welcome center housing student services, admissions, and alumni outreach, while the larger South Wing houses learning spaces for the College of Nursing and Public Health. A 3-story glazed commons serves as the central connector for the varied programmatic elements. Flooded with natural light, the space extends the existing campus pedestrian passageways through and alongside the building, weaving it into the campus fabric and celebrating its prominence as a campus destination. Congratulations, Ballinger! In the unbuilt category, we present Chris Dawson, architect with an honor award for Amber Road trekking cabins. Crafted by designers with strong connections to the outdoors, Chris Dawson Architect has imagined a series of cabins along the Amber Road trekking path, which snakes along the Baltic Sea beaches that are striking in their simplicity, but defer to the tremendous natural beauty of their surroundings. The cabins overtly speak to their location in Latvia and the nature of being connected by referencing the Baltic Way via a design that allows the trekking path to literally dissect the cabins and includes a red, white, red mark of the skin of the cabins. These modest structures allow trekkers to be connected to one another and the landscape when the breezeway arms are opened and extended. On the interior, the cabins are anchored on the design to the site's shiny specimens of amber that wash up on the beaches by finishing the uniquely shaped furniture elements with amber stain. Congratulations, Chris Dawson Architect. In the architecture category, we present FCA with an honor award for the Brooklyn Health Center. The Brooklyn Health Center is supported by MEP-FP project partners Gyros, Baum, and Bowles. JB&B provided MEP-FP, IT, lighting design through the lighting division, Lightbox Studios, and commissioning services to the project. The Brooklyn Health Center is a revolutionary new facility where patients self-room and complete their visits in under an hour. We conceived of the health center as a distinct element within the building's teardrop-like form. The play of light throughout the day lets the eyes of the passers-by shift from the frits and fins of the glass curtain wall to the bright red curving form of the health center bustling within. At the end of the day, when the sun sets, the lights of the building bring its interior into focus on the health center, the building's beating heart, in the midst of a diverse and vibrant neighborhood in downtown Brooklyn. Congratulations, FCA. In the architecture category, we present Kieran Timberlake with an honor award for the Engineering Research Center. This new lab building joins 3 disparate structures at Brown University. The transparent, light-filled research center brings greater visibility to the inquiry and experimentation on campus, while inviting students and faculty to its welcoming commons. Flexible, loft-like lab spaces with open plans and accessible lab systems encourage dialogue between researchers. Throughout the building, a series of installations by artist Spencer Finch are integrated in ceramic tile, fritted glass, flooring, and walls. Congratulations, Kieran Timberlake! In the category of Impact Design, we present Port with an honor award for Lakeview Lowline Phase 1. The Lakeview Lowline transforms a maintenance path under the Chicago Transit Authority elevated tracks into a continuous half-mile-long art walk and garden of custom urban furniture. The bright yellow rectangular cubbies take their cue from the formal qualities of the track itself and are playful takes on a vendor booth, a picnic table, a wavy bench, and a lean-to. The Lakeview Lowline is a pilot project for the enhancement of the hundreds of miles of under-track public space in Chicago. Congratulations, Port! In the category of Impact Design, we present Digsaw with an honor award for the Free Library of Philadelphia Play Spaces. A series of installations throughout several local public library branch locations transforms the learning environment by facilitating physical activity and play. To provide identifiable continuity across the installations while responding directly to the site-specific programmatic and architectural context, the team devised an ecosystem of play. The components of this ecosystem consist of 2 families: small-scale, interchangeable elements common to all branch locations, and large-scale fixed installations unique to each individual site. The design team conducted a robust community engagement process to assess the needs of each branch, developed a curriculum for staff, and conducted ongoing assessments to determine the outcomes at each location. Congratulations, Digsaw! In the Historic Preservation category, we present the Architecture and Engineering Group with an honor award for the Luzerne County Courthouse Rotunda Restoration Phase 1. The Luzerne County Courthouse Rotunda Restoration Phase 1 is supported by project partner John Canning & Co., With more than 40 years of experience conserving and restoring landmark buildings and churches, John Canning & Co. was selected to assess, stabilize, conserve, and restore all of the interior artwork and finishes at the Luzerne County Courthouse. The Architecture and Engineering Group completed the design and construction administration associated with the preservation, conservation, and restoration of historical architectural finishes and fine art of the 100-plus-year-old Luzerne County Courthouse. Fine painting and conservation of canvas images included 4 large pendative paintings, panels over corridor archways, and numerous dome panels of historical portraits. Rotunda restoration included plaster repairs, conservation treatments, and decorative painting associated with the dome and decorative cornice. The dome center oculus stained glass laylight and vertical stained glass windows were repaired and reinforced. Lobby work included the restoration and painting of plaster beams and cornices, conservation of ceiling murals, replication of lunette paintings, and cleaning of marble walls and floors, wood doors, and metal hardware. Congratulations, Architecture and Engineering Group. In the category of Impact Design, we present Urban Design Build Studio in partnership with Project RE with an honor award for Second Course Millvale Moose. Second Course Cafe is a catalytic intervention that establishes the capacity and identity of an emerging food access hub in a disinvested community. Situated within a formerly abandoned Moose Lodge, it is the pilot component of broader adaptive reuse program that will serve local residents and NGOs. Second Course is designed as an adaptable system utilized for food service, food preparation, and food growth. Constructed entirely from reclaimed building materials, the project employs a complement of advanced digital technologies and traditional craft and job skill training oriented toward living wages. Congratulations, Urban Design Build Studio! In the single-family residential design category, we present Studio d'Arc Architects with an honor award for Southside Courtyard House Pool Pavilion and Landscape. This pavilion and landscape complements a previously commissioned adaptive reuse of an urban roofing fabrication shop into a single-family courtyard house located in the urban Southside neighborhood of Pittsburgh. The purpose of the project was to complement an existing series of landscape spaces established in the earlier development of the residence with other recreational uses. A new outdoor area contains a series of activity zones that comprise a recreational precinct. The overall site boundaries are defined by a series of polished concrete block walls that delineate both the landscape space and the street edge, as well as contain pool equipment and a changing room and restroom. A pool pavilion containing a modest seating area and bar has direct views of the landscape zone and the adjoining swimming pool with which it is on access. A pavilion-mounted water feature helps to buffer the ambient street noise of the urban context, allowing the atmosphere of the space to be inward and introspective. The cube-like massing of the pavilion reflects the volumetric properties of the 2-story living room found within the residence. Congratulations, Studio d'Arc Architects! In the architecture category, we present Digsaw with an honor award for WP Point. Fenneman Lodge and Event Hall at WP Point are the primary spots of contact for donors and distinguished guests visiting the Summit Betchel Reserve in West Virginia, a major scouting site that's operated by the Boy Scouts of America. WP Point is a prominent overlook that forms a natural observation point, providing a panoramic view of the grounds. The site had been timbered and strip mined during the 1970s, transformed from a forested ridge to a flat plateau still bearing the scars of those devastating activities. Today, it is a long, largely level point that abruptly drops off to a forested slope below. This project takes inspiration from the geological formations and vernacular mining structures to create a human-scaled gateway through which visitors pass before arriving to an observation platform that provides access to an expansive view of the landscape. Congratulations, Digsaw! At Offutt Kerman, we understand how to navigate the daily challenges of running an architectural firm. We know it because we live it. From professional licensure, contract negotiation, risk management, and claims our lawyers have been assisting clients solve legal, professional practice, and business challenges for years. The Offutt Kerman team focuses on helping their architectural and engineering clients in an efficient and cost-effective manner. Our unparalleled experience and knowledge can help guide you through your professional practice and business needs. When you make our team a part of yours, the potential is endless. The 2019 Allied Trades Award, renamed in honor of Raymond J. Sinagra's collaborative, whatever it takes spirit and dedication to the AEC community, is presented for contributions to the built environment by a contractor, developer, civil engineer, or other allied professional. The Raymond J. Sinagra AIA Allied Trades Award honors those professionals who bring architects' work into reality and who uphold the tenets of design, sustainability, and collaboration. Michael Kleinpeter has spent nearly 20 years with Pyramid Construction Services, for which he currently serves as the Executive Vice President. He has served on the board of the ACE Mentor Program of Central Pennsylvania for the last 10 years. He has been a key player in the growth and impact that the ACE Mentor Program has had in the Central Pennsylvania marketplace over those years, exposing the next generation of students to architecture, construction management, and engineering. Congratulations, Michael. This award honors individuals, corporations, associations, or other groups who do not practice architecture. Rebecca L. Flora is the founder and owner of Remake Group LLC, a woman-owned and operated consulting company. Rebecca's 30-plus years of organizational leadership and project management experience spans projects at the local, national, and global scale. Rebecca has served in leadership positions on numerous local and national boards and was elected to serve as the first woman board chair of the USGBC in 2008 in an open election. She has been internationally recognized for her work in sustainable community development through awards and invited speaking engagements. Congratulations, Rebecca. The jury selected 6 projects for Bronze Award honors this year. In the category of Interior Architecture, we present Bolin Sawinski Jackson with a Bronze Award for Blue Bottle Coffee Exchange Cafe.
Well, I'd like to start with this one mostly because I start my day with a cup of coffee. Otherwise, I wouldn't be so friendly here on the jury. This is Blue Bottle in Philadelphia, and it is just a beautiful little pavilion. And I think what we were talking a lot about is the quality of how it's designed and where it is. So the two volumes really work back and forth together. It's not just about the whiteness, let's say, but it's also about the formality.
Yeah, it changes. It's like there and it's not there.
Yeah.
Like the setting is really the whiteness. You know, you at some point see through it like it's almost cloaked or not even there. And then when those blue lights go on at night, it kind of is like floating almost like a cloud in the space.
Yeah,
So
it's the word that came to my mind when I looked at it, especially because of the way it sits in the space, surrounded by glass. So you're getting all this light, this diaphanous aspect to the figure itself, but it's like an apparition, you know, in the space, you know, that, like you say, is constantly changing. And I think what that has to do with coffee, I'm not sure, but I have to say that what it has to do with, you know, how one engages the space, engages of just being there. I think it's just unexpected.
Yeah, and what I thought was really interesting about it too is usually on these smaller, like kiosk shops, the first thing you see is the sign.
Yeah.
Right.
And this one, the building really was a sign, you know,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, it really, you could tell what it was, but it almost, you know, the building design or the design really becomes the sign for
Yeah.
the company, and it's a really powerful statement more than, you know,
Yeah.
putting the name front and center.
I think that's very true. The last one I would make really is only one about scale. I think Blue Bottle had originally been a kind of a small scale company with small scale shops, and that to find a place that is intimate enough to have a coffee with a friend in what's really a very large atrium space.
Right.
It's a corporate space, so it doesn't necessarily have that kind of intimacy that you would want if you were going to get a good cup of coffee.
Yeah, but it's a pure idea, and it hits to that kind of holy grail of one material, one detail project, and that's the part I get about it. It's so reduced, right? That anything
It's
else,
relentless.
it's relentlessly reduced. Anything else you remove would just destroy the whole thing. So I think it balances that very well. Yeah.
Congratulations, Bolin Sawinski Jackson. In the category of architecture, we present Digsaw with a Bronze Award for the Discovery Center.
We really liked the Discovery Center. The first thing that really struck us was the really strong horizontal plane on the water with the tower that kind of reaching up over the tree line. And you know, when we looked at the tower, it was so interesting to find it as the interior was a climbing wall. So it's a very simple kind of diagram of a building, and these types of buildings tend to be really junked up with things on the inside, and this was really quite beautifully integrated things like climbing walls that architects generally don't like. You know, they consider them a detriment to their building, and it seemed like all of that fit together.
Yeah. I like the balance between some of the sort of more straightforward surfaces that depended on the sort of strong materiality, and also the gates and the elements that were much more
they were also
ornate,
really
highly detailed and played on light and shade and shadow in a different way. So that sort of balance of different scales of interpretation was very nice.
Yeah, that the wood and the metals and
the material logic here is,
Yeah.
again, reduced and restrained.
Yeah.
And so that makes it really legible, right, in terms of how you read the building. And of course, I'm a sucker for a porch or a breezeway. So, you know, when you're thinking about how activities might migrate from indoor to outdoor and back, I think this idea of embracing the visitor and allowing for different events to happen
Shade.
in space. Shade.
you know,
That's
and
great. But just to kind of circle this back around to the initial statement, Larry, I think it's the figure in the landscape that is what I really got excited about, and the collapsing of the vertical with the horizontal from, not so much from the lakeside, but from the other side. Really, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
Nicely done. A nice portal in the landscape.
Portal was the right word.
Yeah, I think a portal is
Yeah, not as
is
much
good.
as way, yeah.
Congratulations, Digsaw. In the category of interior architecture, we present Bostwick Design Partnership with a Bronze Award for the Recital Hall.
Yeah, the Penn State Recital Hall was a really interesting project for us. It took us a little bit by surprise. You know, normally a theater project, you're used to like seeing this dark space, and this was really the inverse of that. You know, it was a beautifully well-lit, light-filled space. The wood was really light. It just felt like a wonderful place to be, you know, and it was really unusual for a performance space. But then, you know, when we looked through the other images, it worked equally well as in the evening. So it was really just a tremendously beautiful interior. It felt like, you know, a great place to be.
Absolutely. Beautifully detailed. I might add, almost Scandinavian
Yeah.
in its presence, you know, in the way in which it, I think, is conceived and executed, which is a compliment, of course. But I think beautiful, and I also think the idea of the curtain wall system, you know, inscribes a kind of exteriority on the interiority of this with this taut glass. I think the whole idea of the transparency indoor-outdoor relationships is, again, as you stated, unexpected.
Yeah.
I think also in the interior, the fragmentation of the different blocks of seating still holds together. So the room itself feels like it has an intimacy. You're in your own little sort of bank
Yes, great
of
scale,
things,
and
great
big
scale,
space, yeah.
and yet it all holds together as one place,
Yes.
which is very nice.
Excellent.
Congratulations, Bostwick Design Partnership. In the category of single-family residential design, we present Bolin Sawinski Jackson with a Bronze Award for the Reduction Residence.
It's beautifully detailed.
Yeah.
You know, it's actually surprising for us to see like how beautiful it is by almost nothing being there.
Yeah, it's a transformation project, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you're starting with something old that has, I would say, pretty good bones, pretty good scale and proportion, and then you're just upping the ante by getting rid of so much stuff. So you just distill it down to these beautiful, again, diaphanous spaces, and being relentless too that it's going to be white.
Yeah,
And
and the
it's gonna be
lighting
white.
that comes
Yeah.
from behind the fins is really gives you a sense of depth. Even though the whiteness, it really feels rich and deep in its kind of reduced amount, but still feels like a great place to be.
The other part of it is that even though it's very white, it's not a sort of stereotypical modernist vocabulary. It feels very personal and very much of its place in this existing house has a very special quality to it, a lot more detail than you would expect in terms of the screens and the grill work and layering. It's not just a sculptural box.
That's right. That's right. And I would love to see a drawing that kind of shows that relationship between outside and inside. This one has a distinct exteriority to it and a distinct interiority. It's really not trying to develop seamless relationships
Right.
between inside and out.
It's almost like a jewel box, you know,
Yeah.
where you got this beautiful wood case, and when you open the top, it's a velvet liner. You know,
Yeah.
and in this case, it's like this
Happens to be white
beautiful
velvet.
white velvet liner inside a brick jewel box.
Yeah, it's really fantastic. Very mature work, I would say.
Yeah.
Congratulations, Bolin Sawinski Jackson. In the category of impact design, we present Urban Design Build Studio with a Bronze Award for the Home Incubator.
Retold home incubator. I think we can't help but laugh and sort
they're
of
crazy.
the crazy idea of it and the wit and humor, and yet, you know, actually really does something.
It's laid
You know,
out
it
like a
lays-
production piece.
That's right.
It's like it's got this weird but beautiful combination of like seriousness of construction, form, and idea, but like a whole community purpose. It's like a messenger bike in the real sense.
Yes, and the message that it brings is just the right one for this
Right.
place.
Yeah, about
Buffet
inclusion,
table of things.
equity, and
That's right.
gathering the community around, and unfolding in a way, and then folding back up and moving on. So the idea that its message is mobile, right, and it can be in multiple places of at different times of the day.
It certainly is going to be a draw riding into town,
Yeah.
and that's kind of part of the magic, I
How do you
believe.
keep the
of
kids
it.
from riding on it though as
Yeah,
it goes through the neighborhood?
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's kind of a new age sort of Wells Fargo wagon.
Yeah.
It just sort of comes and everyone would, I think over time, this kind of a project gains greater meaning. And once you kind of know about it, it's like, let's get them to come to us. Let's
And we-
be part of all of this.
Yeah, we need more projects like this because I think it shows the power of design,
To inspire.
and messaging really can enhance missions of many things.
That's right.
And it certainly in this case plays a big role.
the ice cream truck of ideas.
Right.
You know, there's no audio with it. That's what it needs, is a little bell.
Ting-tings, right.
Congratulations, Urban Design Build Studio. In the category of architecture, we present Digsaw with a Bronze Award for the Tyler Arboretum Edible Garden and Classroom Building.
Yeah, we loved the edible gardening classroom project. It was immediately a recognizable form. You see that house shape all the time,
Archetypal, you know, yeah.
but then you realize it's kind of made of terracotta shingles that are allowed to kind of grow moss. And so it was this really playful project that was at the same time extremely serious about kind of architecture and its language. And we really loved that about it, that it could be both playful and really a serious piece of work.
Yeah, the fenestration is particularly sophisticated. I agree with you, when you do these sort of Monopoly House projects, it's sort of beholden and sort of like, okay, now
Right.
what? And so we, you know, as a group, we sort of say, okay, well, let's dive in there. Sure, you know, it has an image that is at one point iconic, but what else are they doing with it? And I found that this sort of the ability to be inside and not feel that you're in a box. The corners in particular are blown out so that you kind of at one much more with that sort of garden area around you.
It has depth even in its simplicity.
Correct.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think the system of articulation through the terracotta and the way they kind of developed all of these units that wrap the corner, that each have a role to play in the overall articulation of the form, I think is fantastic. The fact that they're using one material, essentially one detail, to skin the whole building, I think is, again, very, very smart, very resourceful in a way. And I think the other thing is the idea that you allow nature to complete the finish of the building over time.
Yeah.
You know, nature, the forces of nature imprint itself. And I think what this, I would love to see this 5-10 years from now and see, you know, if it is truly imbued with the order of change, right? So that
It's a little orange and green.
Yeah.
And hope they don't
or
power
gray,
wash it.
green,
Right.
you know.
Or also, you start to see more about its orientation, about the wind, the sun, things like that, that make it part of the world and make it less abstract and more about its site and place.
And potentially didactic, right? You can learn,
Excellent.
you know, why and where microbes grow and
Yeah.
what we get out of that. So.
Congratulations, Digsaw. The Summit Technology Group helps architects, engineers, and contractors move to the cloud. The AIA Pennsylvania has partnered with Summit to change the AEC landscape and to help organizations embrace and transition to cloud technologies. Summit firmly believes that a cloud strategy can help you support your customers, energize and empower your employees, be adaptive, innovative, and scalable, drive collaboration on projects, and improve efficiency and optimize for the future. We do this by modernizing back-office systems. You can integrate data and systems automated workflows, new and emerging technologies, user access, management software, defined data centers. Operating off a cloud foundation will help you achieve your goals and move your organization forward. Learn more at aectech.cloud. This award is given in to any individual or group working in a state or local government that has made significant contributions in the profession and business of architecture and/or the built environment. Don became involved in public service following his career in consulting services. Having lived in New Cumberland since 1972, he had seen the ebbs and flows in the downtown's stability and the residential community. In order to help revitalize New Cumberland, he ran for borough council and was elected as councilman in 2015.
We made a decision a couple of years ago that our state board could do more. AIA's objective in taking on the New Cumberland project was to test the feasibility of bringing pro bono services to communities in need beyond the two urban bubbles of Philadelphia and Pittsburgh.
Again, for AIA Pennsylvania to be involved in this, we wanted to take our expertise as architects and planners and really use that at the community level and try to help communities who otherwise wouldn't have access to that type of technical specialty.
In places like New Cumberland, some of the identity of the community seems to have gotten a little bit weaker, and economically too. So what we're trying to do is create that sort of destination-worthy kind of community again. So we didn't necessarily have all the resources we would have liked to have to help with visualization. And when AIA came to the table and said they'd like to work with us in whatever way that we would accept, it was an easy yes to say our work can dovetail together.
It was kind of a perfect storm. But who was like the perfect community that embodies the urban cores of Pennsylvania? And New Cumberland kind of really fits that mold.
It has small town charm, and they each have their unique little bakeries, bars, restaurants.
That we've got a real downtown center. Third and Bridge does not exist in a lot of little towns like New Cumberland. And we've got that. It's bones. It's the bones of the city. In order for this program to be successful, it has to be community-led. And so to the extent that we can have more awareness and more involvement in it, it's all a good thing.
We got to engage not only the borough leadership, but the community, and really start at ground zero and get a pulse for what it was people wanted to see in their community. The word got out, and we had a huge group for the last community meeting, pretty full room. I want to say there were 24 people there. Really kind of the gloves came off in a sense, and ideas were flying around all over the place. In fact, one of the people came to my office and rolled out trace paper, and we started talking about ideas right here. Like, you don't usually get that kind of response from a community. And then as architects, the next step was for us to take all that information, kind of filter through it, bring some clarity to what the possibilities were, and then get some ideas on paper. And then through a peer kind of charrette group without the community, we tested those ideas off of each other. What was maybe intended to be one project morphed into teasing out the possibility of really 4 projects connected together.
We're now at the point where we've got the master plan, and that's really what this effort to date's been all about.
I think we all agreed that at the heart of the matter was the Market Square revitalization, which was 2 blocks.
I also enjoy the alley project near the theater, because I think that would be a really fun spot to just connect with people, and there's an ice cream store that's right by there, so it would be a good spot to, enjoy your ice cream outside.
I think the meeting tonight really had a lot that was brought together, a lot of community involvement, and it's really exciting to see where it's going.
To make a more cohesive plan for downtown and pedestrian friendly, I think is a really good idea.
All of them build upon each other. I mean, the one that really, I think, caught a lot of people's attention was the potential for an overlook on the river and a bike path. And
that's like the 2 spectrums, right? It's things that can happen immediately, build a lot of momentum, but then also ends in this something that could be super transformational for the city.
They want their community to be better and keep going in a good direction. I think New Cumberland shows a lot of promise in that aspect.
The visualization that came forward out of this combined effort between AIA Pennsylvania and Gannett Fleming will go miles towards making our story not only more doable, but more believable just from the start. We will be successful, but it's not an overnight kind of event. It never was pictured that way. It's a journey, and we've just taken the first major milestone in that journey, and it's a saga that's going to continue forward.
Congratulations, Don. Senator Tim Carney, AIA, represents the 26th District, which covers parts of Delaware and Chester counties. Tim is a longtime community leader who, before his election to the state Senate in 2018, chaired the Swarthmore Borough Planning Commission and served as mayor of Swarthmore. A practicing architect for over 30 years, Tim has worked on a variety of projects with diverse clients, including the Walt Disney Company and Philadelphia Orchestra. He also runs an architecture design firm with his wife, Claudia. Congratulations, Senator Carney. The Medal of Distinction is the highest award bestowed upon a living AIA Pennsylvania member. The recipient has made contributions to the architecture profession that transcend local boundaries and have positively impacted the citizens of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. Sylvester Damianos, FAIA, an honors graduate of Carnegie Institute of Technology, now Carnegie Mellon University, and Fulbright Scholar at the Technological Institute of Delft, the Netherlands, co-founded his first 3 architectural firms in 1967. His dual career of both art and architecture has spanned over 60 years, serving clients primarily in nonprofit, disability, and art-related fields, as well as his commission by fellow architects to produce art for their buildings. He has held national roles such as president of the American Institute of Architects, chancellor of the AIA College of Fellows, and chair of the American Architectural Foundation. Sylvester has been honored with the Edward C. Kemper Award from AIA and the Distinguished Achievement Award from Carnegie Mellon University. Congratulations, Sylvester. In the category of Historic Preservation, we present BLT Architects with a Silver Medal Award for the Bourse.
We'd like to talk about the Bourse project. I think this was one of the ones that we felt sort of came together as an entire piece of architecture. Took the historic remnants of this building, did a beautiful job at sort of recreating what was there, and then added to it, I think, a very modern life. A lot of complexity, but yet it all sort of, came together very nicely.
Yeah, I really, really like the whiteness of it. It really, with the skylights, it really feels like you're outside. It's a place for people, and you're under this kind of glass canopy. It's just, everything felt so rich with life, and it's always good to see when you have beautiful buildings that are reimagined in ways that, the original architects never probably could even think it could be used.
Yeah, it's powerful space, and I think it really revalidates monumentality in the 21st century. I mean, it's a great space, and I think the figure of the stairs as they're kind of detailed and I don't know, portrayed, lit, however you want to say it, really animates the space.
Yeah,
too.
it almost feels like a beautiful backdrop to the people and the activities that are in the space. Is really a magical place.
This is a social impact project.
Right, it's social impact too. That's I think a really good point, because when you see this feeling of festival and coming together and eating, the architecture always seems to be shouting at you. And there are the stores that are competing, there's all the signage and graphics, and here that does feel like a background to the activity.
Yeah.
And that kind of allows you to just sort of be yourself and feel a lot more at home in the place.
Absolutely. Framework for living, man, that's it.
Exactly.
Congratulations, BLT Architects. In the category of Interior Architecture, we present R3A Architecture with a Silver Medal Award for the Carnegie Mellon University at Mill 19.
The Carnegie Mellon Mill renovation, that is a project that few interiors usually kind of engage me so quickly. And what I loved about it was the reductive palette. I've got concrete floors given and just dark steel and wood done. And I think they've got a lot of mileage out of that expressively. And I think there's really no bad space. There's no filler space that I see, at least what they presented. It was really, it got me excited because it's a great atmosphere.
It has a sense of calmness about it, but at the same time you get kind of excited about the materiality of it, and it almost feels like you want to touch the walls and touch the surfaces. It feels, I'm not sure that warm is the right word, but you feel good in the space.
Yeah, I think also they made the most of sort of the social spaces of the building. The stair, the places for gathering are very nicely conceived so that you feel like you can sort of hang out there more often. And maybe the pictures don't have as many people, but I bet it's very, very sort of robust and people. And I think that that's a very special part of it.
And the mission is, really admirable.
Absolutely.
Sure.
Absolutely. It has its own social relevance there. But I think the language, the vocabulary, there's an elegant restraint to it that I really appreciate. And again, and I think some kudos should go to the lighting designer on this as well, because I think it's contributing to that really variable atmosphere that you get, which everything's not evenly lit. And that's what you find too often in interiors, and this really overcomes that through lighting.
Yeah, I think that's very true.
Congratulations, R3A Architecture. In the category of architecture, we present ISA with a Silver Medal Award for the Excess House.
The Excess House in Philadelphia, pretty great project, wouldn't you think?
Terrific. I mean, an 11-foot wide site looks like a throwaway to most people, and it's amazing what you can do on, what seems like a useless site. Shows you the value of architecture and design.
And it's really a sectional project, right? And that provides it with a profile, with its expressive character, and it's like living in a wall, almost, but it's a perforated wall.
But what I liked in particular was that they weren't shy from pushing and pulling with that 11 feet. I think that a lot of people would have said, oh my God, we can't come in at all. But by coming in and out, it created a lot of corner conditions, which make the rooms feel a lot larger.
And the narrowness of it on that one side is really stunningly beautiful.
Yeah, this is, they really made something out of practically nothing here. Like I say, like a residual place in the city. Something creates value. That's what architecture can do, I think.
What we talked about when we were looking at it before was the use of color. And it was very judicious the way the color was used on the interior, gave the building a glow, made it fun and interesting, but it wasn't it sort of lended itself to sort of calming the whole thing down.
Yeah, it wasn't frivolous.
That's
and
right.
It came, the color revealed itself on the outside as a balcony liner, which was also quite nice. It was a beautiful project overall.
Yeah, outstanding.
Congratulations, ISA. The Architecture Firm Award is presented to any firm or successor firms, whether an individual or an organization of architects, in which the continuing collaboration among individuals of the firm has been the principal force in consistently producing distinguished architecture for a period of at least 10 years. ISA leverages the opportunities and challenges of its home city of Philadelphia to drive a design practice that takes on the complex context of the 21st century American city. Big ideas and real-world constraints live side by side in building and research projects that address changing climates, lifestyles, technologies, and urban communities. ISA works with a wide range of project stakeholders to influence the spaces and architectural programs of daily life, carefully examining projects large and small to find value in unexpected places. Congratulations, ISA. Thank you for joining us to celebrate great architecture this evening. A special thanks to all that submitted to the Design Awards program this year. One more round of applause for our generous sponsors. Fenner and Essler, Milburn, Macris, Plausatis, and Sidon, Offutt Kerman, Summit Technology, Providence Engineering, Langdon, Sheets, Burt Cromer Cremonese, John Canning Company, Jaros, Baum and Bowles, Acoustic Distinctions,